Hi, Brenda. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to observe me in this online class that I'm doing. And I haven't had a chance to observe anyone else in online teaching, and I don't know if you have, so I'm not really sure how this should go. Anyway, what I thought I would do is kind of quickly show you what's happening this week in the class. This is our second to last week. They have a final project, and I want to show you that too, because it'd be great if you could take a look at that if you had time as well. Okay, so here's the course, and we are in week 7, and this is a blended class. So we had a campus class on Tuesday, and then this is the online component of that campus class. The main thing that's happening in this is a course for either teachers who are getting a special ed license or adults are going back for like a second career and they end up in special ed. So this is part 1 of a 2-part literacy methods series for them, and this one is focusing on beginning reading. And it's not for special ed kids though, it's for typical kids, because I think it's really important that they understand how typical readers develop so that they have a baseline to compare. So the main thing, this is one reason I'm telling you all this is because the main work that they do is a case study of a real kid that they have to find in the field, ages 5 to 7. And so the course is part theory, so they read theory about beginning reading, and they learn how to take that theory and apply it to a case study. And what this looks like is a series of observations and assessments of a beginning reader. And I'm going to show you that because then you'll see how that I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so this is the overview of this week. Here's the calendar. And then this is what they're starting to do right now, is working on a wiki, and it's a theory to practice wiki. It's our last week of field work, so they're finishing up their case studies, and then they're going to do a case study analysis. This is the kind of a synthesis of their case study, and they'll be posting this week as well. And I'll show you where that all is. So there's the reading. I'll show you what these wikis look like, and we've got 2 different ones going on for 2 groups. So from this reading that they had to do, it's on reading behaviors that signal developing inner control of the reading process. And so I pulled these out from the text, a list of these behaviors. And then what I want them to do is summarize a behavior, paraphrasing it from the text, and then take a real world example from their case study and put it here. And in my instructions to them, I said they can kind of mix and match and work all in different parts of this chart. They can even add extra examples if there's one there. I did this last year. It works really well in terms of, again, getting them to really understand the theory by thinking about how it applies to their case study. I've had a real hard time with this group who tends to, with this class, tends to not really enjoy any heavy theory. This is pretty heavy theory, and I'm expecting this is going to work pretty well. Okay, so now I want to show you where, just quickly, what their case studies look like. And so going back to the module here, and that's where they're going to do their analysis. Right here. So they each have a blog, and I might kind of re-look at how well this blog works. It's kind of clunky. So basically what they do is they post things from their case study here, and it ends up being a bunch of files that they upload. And then I will go in from time to time and comment to make sure they're on track. And previously I had them comment on each other's, but instead of that is why we are doing this analysis, because I was finding that the comments were kind of light and there wasn't a lot of depth. So just give you an example of what the kind of data looks like. So they had to do this kind of task on these kids, and then they had to record it. So again, a bunch of kind of early reading things there. So what we're looking for this week is sometime this by the end, and the week ends on Monday, is they will have posted, it'll probably show up on top, their case study analysis, which is going to be the summary of that. And so that is going to lead into the final project. And I was actually inspired by your presentation for this final project. It is a role play wiki, and what they are, so this is here, and what they're going to do is they're going to do a simulation of a student study team meeting. And in schools, student study teams will convene to discuss students, like the teacher might bring a concern to the meeting, and it's way before you would actually do any IEPs or things like that. And so the way the roles are going to work is there's going to be so here it is here, the presenter of the case, and this is whoever's case study it was. And then there's going to be a reading intervention specialist who's the expert, who's going to bring in theory and talk about whether this is a typical case or not. And then the liaison to the parent, we're not having the parents at the meeting because of all the theory, but the liaison to the parents sits in the meeting, and then they are going to later communicate to the parents kind of what happened using layman's terms. So I have the rubric here, and these are the different roles. I haven't set up the wiki yet. I'm going to get Christine to help me with this. Last year I did something totally different. I did this as just a face-to-face presentation. And so people just took turns presenting. And again, I found that, again, they didn't make the theoretical connections that I wanted them to make in that. So I think this is really going to help with that, particularly this role of reading interventionist. We did in Tuesday's class, we did a practice case study. So a real case study that I brought in, and we practiced doing the different roles with that and doing an analysis. So I think this is going to go well. So again, just to summarize, so it's week 7 this week, and which is here, and they will be working this, basically do a lot of work over the weekend. So if you just wanted to go in once, it would make sense to go in on Monday and kind of see what they've done. And then if you have time next week to go back in and see what these final wikis look like, that would be really, really great too. Those are due on the 14th. All right, thanks, Brenda. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully we get to chat about this at some point. Okay, thanks. Bye.